A lot of towns have a gas station, a lot of towns have a restaurant, a lot of towns have a shoe store. Not every town has an elephant sanctuary, and so there is a bit of a novelty to it. My name is Todd Montgomery. I'm the Senior Manager of External Relations here at the Elephant Sanctuary in Tennessee, and I've been here for about 8.5 years now. So the Elephant Sanctuary is a 3,060-acre facility located in Lewis County, Tennessee, that is a home for 10 elephants that are retired from performance and exhibition. There are different sub-habitats for Asian elephants and for African elephants, and that entire space is maintained by a team of caregivers. The Elephant Sanctuary was founded in 1995 by two people, Carol Buckley and Scott Blaze, and they were the owners of an elephant named Tara. And Tara, like many elephants, had been brought to the United States from the wild at a very, very young age. I believe when she was about 2 years old. They became a performing team. As Tara got older, her owners realized that life just wasn't the best fit for her, and they set about creating a place where Tara could retire. And that idea in time turned into the Elephant Sanctuary. And from one elephant or herd, our population grew to include another elephant, then another, and then eventually we had 28 elephants that have lived with us since 1995. 10 of them are with us now, and hopefully more to come. The official mission is twofold. The Elephant Sanctuary exists to provide individualized care in a natural habitat refuge, and also educate the public about why that's important, about the needs of elephants in captivity, and the value of elephants as a keystone species in the wild, how crucial elephants are in our planet's overall health. A keystone species is any species of plant or animal that has a profound impact on every living thing around it. Elephants dig in the ground, looking for water, establishing a mud wallow. That mud wallow in turn becomes a source of drinking water for several other animals. The grasses that grow along the edge of that mud wallow in turn become habitats for insects and different species of birds. Amphibians will lay their eggs in the water of that elephant-created watering hole, and then it becomes a nursery ground. So the elephant, through their digging, creating a mud wallow and a watering hole, they create a cornerstone of their natural habitat that is utilized by so many other animals. The elephants here have sort of integrated themselves as a member of that ecosystem. So yeah, we do see the deer drinking from the elephant mud wallows. Even more commonly, we see turtles and frogs that have taken up residence around the wallows and the ponds. And so another little way that the ecosystem that we see here maybe isn't exactly a replica of what you have in the wild, but it's still pretty fascinating to see how our sanctuary ecosystem has really grown with the elephants as a centerpiece. A lot of people don't realize this, but in the wild, Asian elephant populations exist in the wild all the way from southern India and in Sri Lanka and Indonesia, areas that we would think of as being more almost subtropical, but wild elephants also live all the way north into the Himalayan foothills. So the climate that we have here in terms of the length of the warmer season, the rainfall, the vegetation, obviously it's not exactly what an elephant would have, but it's a close enough approximation. And also, of course, we live in a very rural area. To have an elephant sanctuary, to have the space that we think is best for these elephants, we needed a lot of it. You couldn't very well have an elephant sanctuary, in your backyard, unless your backyard was vast. On the sanctuary, all the elephants have access to large buildings that provide shelter and resources for the elephants to access. They can come in and out as they choose. They all have individualized stalls within the barn. The barns have padded flooring. They're heated, so it's nice and warm in the wintertime. The elephants spend very little time inside during the spring, summer, and fall, a little bit more time inside during the winter, especially at night. An old joke here is that everything at the sanctuary runs on elephant time. So a lot of times we have a plan for what we would like to happen over the course of the day. The elephants have a different plan, and we try to meet somewhere in the middle. And thankfully, we have the ability to be flexible with our planning, because anything can change based on what sort of a mood Flora's in, or what Billy's up to today. So a typical day for an elephant, the majority, the biggest chunk of it is spent acting wild, foraging, looking for food, playing in one of our ponds, interacting with other elephants, lying down, taking a nap, just exploring. Those are all regular daily activities for the elephants. This is not a zoo, this is not a park. There's lots of wonderful zoos and parks all over the country where you can go and physically see an elephant, but that's not what our mission is. That's not what we were created for. Once they come and live with us, their public life is behind them. They're no longer going to be put on display, and we think it's just better for the elephant's overall physical, mental, psychological well-being not to have lots of spectators around. Our goal, our focus here is primarily on the well-being of the elephants for whom we care, and that is where our focus will remain. The fact that these elephants are willing to display trust and patience, curiosity, that they're willing to sort of let down their guard and let down their anxiety around humans, when in many cases they have every right to be completely suspicious of anything that a human around them is doing. I'll say the opinion of every elephant of a human certainly depends on that elephant's experience. We have some elephants here. Billy, one of our Asian elephants, is a great example. When she got here, she seemed to be an elephant that was just enveloped by anxiety. Like, she just seemed like she was in a constant state of, just ready for something bad to happen at any times all around her. And we think it's because that was the life that she lived for so long. So to see that elephant start to walk a little bit farther each day, start to show curiosity towards the other elephants, get in our pond and splash around and just goof off for an hour, which she may have never done before, or certainly not for many, many years. Just to see those little things, it's very inspiring for us. I think what I get from that is to see just go, okay, just to see these elephants just be themselves and think, okay, gosh, that's almost what you would see in the wild. That's really, I think, the best case scenario that we hope for. I would like for humans, you, me, anybody that comes in here to visit, to realize that we are keystone species as well. And we have a huge impact on the wild world around us, whether we realize that or not. And I would like for this Elephant Discovery Center, I'd like for the stories of these amazing animals, in some cases, to be the entry point to having that conversation, to thinking about how we fit to the world around us and making more informed decisions as a keystone species, and that those decisions would create better lives for elephants everywhere.